Aloha, this is Leimomi Keliikuli, psychic business mentor here, coming from the Big Island of Hawaii. I am so excited to talk about this topic, and because it's actually in response to a lot of what my clients and a lot of my prospects have been asking me about. So I would like to actually share what it actually is. Yes. So I want to actually share why your shell is blocking you from creating more fame and fortune, and the benefits of actually clearing this and removing it for you, and what are the 4 levels of Akashic records clearings that is necessary to really up-level you with ease. So I see Zena just jumped on. If you just jumped on, totally just say hello and where you're listening in, or you could just give a little blurb there. What exactly do you help your clients with? I would love to hear that. So if you're just joining me, definitely share that with me. But first, let me introduce myself. I am a psychic business mentor. And I do a lot of basically the fit as a psychic, as I do a lot of mindset work and also business strategy and coaching all together. So I basically help 6 to 7 figure type of earners who actually just need to remove soul level blocks that keeps them from creating more fame and fortune, and I help them up level with ease. So that's technically like what I do. Hi, Zena from New Jersey. I think that's right, NJ, right? Hi, Lisa. So basically, that's what I do. I kind of have combined all of my gifts to really help up-level everyone with ease by just clearing big soul-level blocks. So this is kind of basically what my topic is going to be about clearing work, because I think we kind of think oh, we just need only one clearing, just go see that one psychic one time, pay her $100 or whatever her fee is. But honestly, for you to have the reoccurring abundance to come through, there actually are a lot of levels that you need to clear yourself in the Akashic records. So what is the Akashic records? It's actually your 5th dimensional aspect, and it's actually like the information highway. So everything about yourself, about your soul, is in there, and is unlimitedly recorded. And so if you really want to know anything about yourself, your past, present, and future selves, it's all there in your Akashic records. So I basically can look at your blueprints, your soul's blueprints, to help you to really up level with ease, because when you align to your divine gifts, which is what you're originally made of from source, that is where money actually comes through much more easily when you're aligned to your unique energy. So for example, my soul is divine love. So I help heal people to bring all of their gifts all together in order to get to their dream reality. And doing that through a lot of mindset work, and actually it's up leveling your consciousness. And the best way to do that is actually through a clearing. So what is a clearing, right? I think everybody has all different definitions of what a clearing is, but there is different, depending on what kind of modality that you've ever learned. You probably have heard of ways to clear things in your mind and things like that. But what I found that the direct way to clear some kind of blocks, we call mindset or belief systems that are in there, you really want to get access to your Akashic records, because SRT or doing bars or these kind of things, it really does work with a lot of your it actually works a lot of your 4th dimensional aspect, which is your mental and emotional thought forms. But when it comes to your Akashic records, it actually takes care of every level of your being, your past, present, and future all together. And you are affecting your entire dimensional aspects as your consciousness grow. So anyway, I just told you a whole big spiel about clearings. So back on topic. So what is a shell? What I found is that some souls originally, when they're a baby, this normally happens when you're a baby, is that you have taken on, either for protection or deception, usually it's for protection, to wear this soul level mask. And the soul level mask is actually wearing the mental and emotional body of a soul that has transitioned from its body. Hi, Michelle. If you're just joining in, please say hello. So what happens is, energetically, you have all of these thought forms, these emotions, these like mental beliefs from another soul, and you're wearing it like almost like a mask, like literally like a mask. So what happens, what does this feel like? I have to explain to you, right? Aloha, Michelle. What it feels like, it's literally like every time when you try to take an action, it feels like, hi Stephanie, it feels like your brain feels so overwhelmed. The noise sounds so loud. And it feels like every time when you try to do something, you sabotage yourself. Why? Because there's all these negative beliefs or these emotional mental patterns that are actually not even yours in the first place. So depending on the percentage of how much you identify with that shell, that can affect how much money you make, your relationship with yourself and others. So it has a huge impact when you have this shell on. If any of you here are listening in and you've taken off the shell, please totally share like what you felt about when you release the shell. So what happens is, when you try to take action, all this like mental, emotional like stuff overwhelms you, and then you procrastinate, you sabotage whatever opportunity that came to you, you get really confused, you maybe like start to do your own soul's expression, like try to do your purposeful work, but then when you do, like you don't manifest anything. So what it literally does, it stops you from manifesting. That's a huge thing, right? Hi, Nesserine. So that's why it's so big to get rid of it. But most people don't even know that they even have this thing, and I would have to go in your Akashic records to go check. But normally, most people are born in hospitals. So this is where you can also pick it up if you're born in a hospital, because there's a lot of people that die and a lot of people that actually are born, right? So if your soul has decided to take this on as protection, you continuously try to protect yourself. And that comes from the ego, right? Like I need enough money, I need enough things to feel safe, and you're constantly like trying to keep yourself safe. That's basically what it feels like. Has anybody ever had that feeling before? Like it's so irrational, like why you can't turn on the video just to get on a live stream like this, or like why you can't talk about money. It's like, oh, really hush hush, that kind of thing. If those kind of things are happening to you, a lot of times it's coming from the emotional mental charge of that shell that you're holding around you. Okay, so the benefits of removing this obviously is you get connected directly from source immediately. You'll feel a surcharge of source energy flow through you, and you just feel so energetically on fire. Like it literally feels like you're moving 100 times per hour. All right, hi Nicole. And your brain can actually start to be more present and more focused in your body. And you actually literally start feeling like anything is possible. Why? Because you go from this like contracted cocoon to like this butterfly that starts to expand its wings, and it can actually operate in a much bigger realm than what you were before, which when you have the shell, you feel so small and contracted. So let me actually just share you some testimonials, because sometimes people don't believe me, like this is even possible. A lot of times when you actually remove this also, what happens is if you had any anxiety or panic attacks, That's usually what happens when the shell has overwhelmed you completely and is taken over. If you have any of those kind of symptoms, that kind of thing, it's usually because the shell has taken over, okay? Meaning that you absolutely started to believe that this mental and emotional patterns are your own. So here is one really big one. This one actually, she removed her, the next day after I removed her shell, she immediately felt the results. So she says, I've never experienced such a deep transformation so quickly. I feel like a new person. Before Leimomi removed my shell, I was experiencing irrational fears that I felt like they belonged to me, as well as an escalating panic attacks that was inhibiting my ability to work and be visible in my business. Within 12 hours of Leimomi removing my shell, my panic attacks stopped. The irrational fears went away, and I was infused with a new focus, drive, inspiration to create powerful content, to be free of the panic attacks that plagued my life. And my business alone is worth 20K or more. I have been liberated to be more myself and to finally step into the powerful entrepreneur I was born to be. Time to be seen. And this is from Pollyanna Brown. She's a storytelling marketing strategist. So this literally like overnight happened to her. Another one of like the feeling of what it felt like came from Dee Robinson. She's a fitness and mindset coach. She says, right now I'm feeling what I can describe is as if a wave of relief, certainty and like I am running at 100 miles per hour easily. The certainty feeling is so definite and strong, like removing a mask. Clear seeing and clear cognizance has leveled up to loving it all. Thank you so much, Leimomi. Your work is so special. I did my daily live stream this morning, and I was just going to wish everyone a lovely morning, and then end up talking about this experience. I just could not say nothing more about experiencing this. It's so powerful. I will be spreading this amazing gift, powerful smile. So that is like basically the feeling she felt. She just felt totally like clear seeing, clear cognizant. And why? Because now she had access to her gifts. She had access to the ability to feel her own soul and her own body. What normally happens when you have this shell, it feels like you feel just so small and you're operating from a very small space. But as soon as it's cleared, you actually operate from the place of connection to source. And a lot of times why we don't create content and these kind of things, because we're not connected to source. And that's why we don't feel energy. That's why we don't feel like we can focus on things in our business. That's why we feel like we're just like overwhelmed. It's like literally the noise in your head is so huge and big that you cannot focus on the present. Has anybody had that experience? You know, like it just feels like I know I know I need to be doing this, but I can't do it. Like it's just like I can't do it. I procrastinate, I sabotage my stuff. I'm like in this constant bad cycle, you know, these kind of patterns. That actually has a lot to do with wearing that shell. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to give you a little snippet of what that would feel like, okay? So now about the levels. There's 4 levels of clearing work that is actually necessary in order for you to up level with ease. So I did this on myself. I've done it on my clients. I've done it on my husband, on my son. So I know like these different levels that needs to happen. So obviously the first level would be, you know, we need to clear that shell if you have that shell. And actually that shell is one of the biggest things because it literally makes you feel like a butterfly and expanded immediately. The second, so that's the first thing usually I do. The second thing is the level 1 work. This one is where I go into your 5th dimensional aspect, which is in your Akashic records, and I go and clear like over like 20 some different blocks that come from core emotional beliefs from a specific past lives that is creating the same programming into this lifetime, into the present. So when we clear that, it immediately deletes all that feelings, and it stops you from creating the same relationships from coming into your life. It's permanently gone, honestly. And it also so it will definitely affect the way you relate to yourself. You won't have any of these emotional mental charges from those particular past lives. Okay, then the second level is I need to clear your fourth dimension aspect, which has to do with your emotional and mental body. So it's kind of like how I did with the shell, because the shell is one of the biggest thing, and that's a present life block. When you're clearing that level, the second level, it's kind of subtle, but you will literally not have a lot of emotional stuff that's connected to particular people in your life. So I could get rid of hooks and cords. I could get rid of certain like contracts that you have with certain people, meaning their relationships that you're engaging with them in. Instead of like reliving the same contract in this lifetime, it will be released and you no longer have that kind of feelings or emotional charge about it anymore. So that's the second level. Okay, that's a pretty big one, but actually you don't feel it that much, because the only way you would know of how that changes is actually you will experience it by engaging with other people, like your family members, your siblings, your parents. You would feel it with every person you relate to. Like honestly, like you will see it in your relationships a lot. I need that. Yeah, Michelle. That is the biggest thing that I think, like, we want to clear it, but if it is not, if you're not connected to that part of your fourth dimension aspect, it's hard to see it unless you have deep karmic relationships. So that's where I go into looking at your life lessons, looking at those relationship blocks, those contract stuff. I would look into any chakras that are imbalanced. I could look into, oh gosh, like there's like five or six different things that I'm clearing you on. Okay, that has to do with your fourth dimension aspect. Then the level 3 is actually one of the biggest one. This is the one where I clear your third dimensional aspect, which has a lot to do with your body in this physical experience. So why we actually can't create abundance a lot is not because there's something like we're not capable of doing it, like our body's not capable of doing it. But if our DNA remembers these code corruptions or these denatured way of being, we don't take action. And the biggest way that we change all our dimensional aspects, actually, that there's the 10 dimensional aspects, right? Is when we do something. So some kind of action that you are doing will allow you to change your karmic patterns, right? So when I clear the third level, it actually allows you to physically be able to do stuff. Like your body won't hold you back any longer. That's what's so cool about it, is that third level. The fourth level is I have to clear all of your misalignments in your business. So that's like everybody that has ever helped you with creating anything, any content, your business coach, any kind of certifications you've ever taken before, like all of these kind of things are business contributors that actually block you from focusing on the present and actually doing things in your business. So there you go. Those are the 4 levels, okay? Hi, Carolyn, and hi, Dee. If you just jumped in, say hello. So imagine that. If you had 4 levels of your crap, right? Totally cleared. How would you feel every day? How would you interact with people? How would you like do things in your business, right? Like you would totally just do it. And that is why I'm able to just like decide I want to do something and then I manifest quickly. But when your divine soul blueprints, all of those dimensional aspects, remember I was talking about when they're not all lined up, right? And they're just a little bit off, then when source comes through, the energy comes through for you to manifest the thing, it's like lopsided, right? Like you're not able to have access to it. So when all of your blueprints are all cleared and it's all lined up, you feel ultimately abundant. Thank you for the hearts and the likes and the amazing faces. Thank you. So what do you think about that? Like imagine that. What would that feel like? How would you be showing up in your life? Wouldn't it be so amazing, right? And you would just operate from what I call your truth. So what we actually want to do is we want to align all 10 of our dimensional aspects into one being, and we are operating from our inner truth, and we are directly connected to source, and we just do it. And we're actually just living in amazement of our own creation. So when we talk about spiritual evolution, actually, we're talking about all of our dimensional aspects lining up together. But we think like we have to like get out of our body, right? Or like we have to like go in the ethers and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actually your consciousness. Your consciousness is at the level where you are just operating from self-expression. Your divine self-expression, so clear, crystal clear. You're just living in accordance to your soul's design. You're living in accordance to universal law. You're living in accordance to how you can interact with others and for the greater good, and how you can make a greater impact on everyone in your life, right? In your presence, in your everyday life. So this is actually how I'm living now. I've expanded my consciousness to the point where I really don't have any ego about things like how I used to. Because, you know, like the ego, like, oh, I need to have more like stuff, or I need to be more famous, or like these kind of things. Like, I don't feel that. Like, the only reason I'm doing this and sharing this knowledge with you is because I want you to connect with your own divine self-expression. I want you to bring all your gifts together. I want you to love unconditionally. So when you're at this consciousness, you just love. You're just holding sacred space for people. You are just completely in alignment with your soul's design, and you make amazing money. That's what it feels like. So Michelle says, amazing. Dee says, well, I'm assuming I would feel authentic and knowing without doubt. Absolutely. You would just absolutely know. You will be in synchronicities. You will manifest like crazy. You'll make money. Michelle says, how fast can we clear and create? And she's curious. You mean like this kind of clearing work? If I did all of this all at once, I could do it in 3 months. Isn't that cool? But I will be doing it in the background, and you don't have to do anything. I would need some information sometimes, like if it's particular relationships, but mostly I'm just doing it on my own. So yeah, basically you would just create and it's cleared. So Dee says, yes, that's it, ego. Yeah. Yeah, ego gets in the way. That's where the ego is coming from, your third dimension aspect of the body. So if most people have a lot of ego coming from particular, like their body, like negative conscious beliefs from their family line, like vows that your grandparents have made, like even when you're in the womb, you know, you've ever heard that, right? Like when you're in the womb, everything that you like your mom experienced, you actually experience yourself too. So Carolyn says, my little niece presses extra hearts. Oh, Oh, thank you. She can push more. My son does that too. Whenever I'm like on Periscope, he's like pressing the screen. He got lots of likes and hearts. So do you guys have any questions? I just told you like probably mind-blowing things again. So what do you feel about that? Dee says yes, and when I meet people who have no ego issues, they feel so grounded and really, really present. Yeah, that's me. I'm very grounded. I'm just as the same person in person and online. And there really is no ego. Like, you literally don't feel, I mean, like, you can feel stuff with your body, you know, like the usual fears. But the fear is like, it's like rational, you know, like mostly it's irrational fear. But when your blueprints and all of the stuff is all misaligned, it's so irrational. Have you ever felt that? Like right now you feel that? Like everything about what you think about and all your beliefs and stuff feels like so irrational. That's what it feels like. It really is irrational. Yeah, thank you for all the hearts. So Dee says, yep, you are, and I feel that, which is why I was drawn to you in the first place. I want what you have, special place. Oh, thank you. Actually, Dee, I don't know if you heard it, but I told your testimonial here about the shell. Because that was just so cool, the way you shared it. Like, you were, like, able to do stuff, like, at 100 miles per hour with the shell being gone. Me too, Michelle says. Yeah, so you want to, the way to do this, to get so grounded in your body, I mean, you can do so much, you know, like create what you want, you know, get aligned to your soul's design, and you can actually literally change and shift your consciousness by doing things in your third dimension aspect. So like let's say you have if you do like your mindset practice or something like that, and you take action to change that belief, and you keep doing this over and over again, it is possible that a lot of this stuff will be gone. So Dee says, oh no, sorry, I just got on. Yeah, no, it's okay, because a lot of people are just getting on after. But yes, I have shifted and feel like I have changed from the tortoise to the hare. But they're combined now, not fighting, and I have so much love for myself now. Yeah, I feel it too. Like, you are just so in love with yourself, and just like you're able to go from like feeling super stuck to like going. I see you're going places, you know. Short Carolyn, and you're saying BRB. So anything else you guys want to share with me if you have any questions? This is why I like doing live streams, because when I give you some amazing content, sometimes like your brain can't wrap around it. So when you hear this again and the replay, or you just ask me questions, you could get a greater understanding. So don't be afraid to ask whenever I'm asking here. Because this is your chance to ask a psychic, a business strategist, and a mindset coach all in one. Yeah. Okay, well, it looks like no one has questions. So let me just see if I have anything I missed. Yeah, so all I want you to do is, the secret is getting in touch with your soul's design first. Cindy says, haha, thank you. Yes, it has given me unconditional love for myself, which has given me total acceptance for me as I really am. I am not trying to be anything else but me, and it's so liberating. Yeah, and amazing. Thanks to you. Oh, yeah, that's what I found is like when you clear any of these soul level blocks, you feel liberated. It's different from freedom. Like freedom is like, it's kind of like, yeah, it feels good. You know, you feel free. But when you feel liberated, it's like going from a disempowered feeling to capable and empowered. That's what liberation really actually means. I know I'm meant for more fame, but I think I am scared that is wrong. That's what Amanda says. So this is what you want to do, Amanda. You know, you want to find out under that, you know, you're meant to create more fame, right? You align to, okay, I want more fame opportunities. I want to be famous, right? But, you know, you feel scared. So you want to find out why you are scared. Where does that belief comes from? I don't want fame at all costs. I want to be famous as me and whomever I become. Well, yeah, like when you become famous, you know, well known from people, you really actually have to be yourself. Like, otherwise, like people won't follow you. Like that's the truth anyway. So you're not changing necessarily, but if you have like these beliefs that like, oh, I'm entitled to this fame, I'm like a diva, I'm entitled to this fame, or people are going to get jealous at me, or somebody's going to throw hate comments at me, or my family is going to be in jeopardy because this people are going to find me, or you got to really find out what is the belief going on there. And when you find out what that is, then what you want to do is take massive action to change that belief. Like you actually do something with your body to change a belief. So Amanda, do you have something, like any belief that came up? Like when you line up to that, you're meant to create more, you know, fame for yourself. But what is the main thing that is like really like on your mind? You know, like the belief that's like really on your mind as to why you can't create more fame. Hi, Letitia. If you have any questions, like totally ask me now. This is Q&A time. So, and if you missed the beginning, totally listen to the beginning part because I just like spilled amazing content about your shell and about all of that. Can you recommend a mindset exercise to clear ego? Well, okay, so ego comes from your body, so that's where you got to get specific. So you can't ever get rid of your ego because you have a body. If you don't have a body, then you wouldn't have any ego problems. That's why we are here on earth, because we have a body, and that's why we are masters of limitation. We came here to experience limitation and to go beyond that. Hi, Letitia. Yes, so you really got, in terms of the mindset exercise, Michelle, like you really need to get clear as, okay, what are you talking about? Like how to clear the ego? Because that has to do with like a belief, usually. A belief or an illusion. An illusion is like where it's like this kind of overall belief that everybody believes that it's true. Like I have to go to school and get my degree before I actually can work. You know, then actually I can make money by getting my doctorate degree. But actually a lot of doctors are poor. That's not true. Some people didn't even go to college and they make millions of dollars. So Michelle says, in having stomach issues, probably stress and gluten. Oh, okay. So when it comes to anything about your physical body, it has a lot to do with something you want to do, but you're not doing it. So if you ever have health issues, that's just unexplainable health issues, the secret is, you're probably doing something that you don't want to be doing. And you have to give yourself permission to go do it. So with stomach issues, that has a lot to do normally, or digestion issues has a lot to do with like you're like feeling enough or worthy, or being able to not be overwhelmed, or to digest this stuff that's going on in your life, like that. I hope I give you an epiphany about that, Michelle, because it's literally like that. it's something you're not doing. So like, let's say for example, let's say for example, like you might have like that stomach issue, or you have like irritable bowel syndrome, or something that debilitates you from actually doing something. So normally, like doing something could be like you want a relationship, but then you're not able to have a relationship because you feel so ugly in your body, right? Or it could be, oh gosh, I can't think of like big examples, but like I found that if you're having any kind of physical issues, it's mainly because you're not allowing yourself to do something. And you know how you get beyond it is you actually have to do the thing that you are resisting. So like, let's say like you're a stay-at-home mom, but you really want to do your career and your purpose, but you don't have any time to do that. So you actually have to make space to do that, so that your energy gets up. And your energy gets up when you do the one thing that you are normally blocking yourself about. He says, gut instinct talking to you. Yeah. That also too, yes, that's also possible. Amanda says, it's a deep rightness, but something I don't want to shove in people's faces. I know I can help more with that coming true, but I am worried that it's egocentric. And also, I already am a lucky, I'm already a lucky duck, which sometimes makes me feel awkward because I want all to have as much as they want, not be lacking in some that they want that someone else has. For instance, my apartment has a few more nicer details than a friend's in the same complex. I'm grateful for my gifts, but wish she could have the same. It made me uncomfortable when she expressed her envy. Ooh, okay. All that? Okay, so then what you want to do, Amanda, is you want to explore that righteousness, that rightness in you. Because that is, I think, the key for this, definitely. And you want to find out what was rightness means to you. Like you want to be right? Like I'm perfect, or I know something more, or something like that. And when you want to journal about it, like get really deep into it as what that means, and then I think you'll be able to uncover where that actually comes from. But you're really feeling uncomfortable because it's bringing up that mindset belief of trying to be right? My husband does that too to me. Like he's always like has to be right, and I'm like, why do you care? Why do you care so much like how I eat? Just like I'm eating, okay? Like get off my back about it. Michelle says, I totally agree. Jamie says, that's me at the moment. Could it be my solar plexus? Oh gosh, like I'm sorry if I'm missing your questions here because I don't know the frame of reference. Michelle says, I'm in the process, but I know I need some guidance. Dee says, is it like a pendulum swinging? When you resist it and push it away, it comes back at you sometimes stronger. I don't know if it comes back stronger, but it's possible. Amanda says, I felt that pendulum too, Dee. Yeah, it can come back stronger depending on how deep it is, actually. So Jamie, can you explain a bit? Jamie Lee, can you explain what is it that you're saying that's me at the moment? Could it be my solar plexus? Then I could actually answer a bit of your question because I don't have a frame of reference of what you're asking. Again, get on in, ask me your questions. Even if you feel like you don't really have one, like totally blurb something. And you'll figure out what you're talking about. I do that all the time. About the tightness in my stomach, Jamie says. Oh, and Michelle says stomach issues. Oh, okay. That's a big one. That's a big one. A lot of Americans have stomach issues like this. And it has a lot to do with your worth, feeling worthy, feeling that tension, like I have to be a certain way, that perfectionist feelings. I think actually what you're talking about, that reminds me that has a lot to do with your third chakra issues, right? So anything to do with your stomach has a lot to do with worth issues, like huge worth issues. So what you want to do is you want to uncover, like, where does those worth issues come from? And then like let's say like your parents or somebody told you something really negative and you felt so uncomfortable about it, and you feel it, that tightness in your belly and in your stomach. It will make you like not take action. So, and then what you actually do is you kind of just live in your head and you're not doing what you want to be doing. It's like you're sabotaging your ability to like bring out your value and bring out what you feel worthy to share and bring out your divine gift and all of that. That's what actually happens when the third chakra contracts. So the way to get out of it actually is you need to address at the root issue and look at what is that belief that's blocking it. And when you find the belief, then you need to do an action that changes that belief, like automatically change that belief. So like let's say I'm not worthy to, I guess, like have VIP clients or something like that. Then you need to discover, like go more inward and figure out why is it that you don't feel that you can have VIP clients. Then it could be because you just don't feel like you know how that feels like to be around them. Like let's say you uncover that, right? Like it just is like a different vibration. You don't know what that feels like. So then the best action of that would you would go in front of them. You go actually have conversations with them. You know, like talk to them, get to know them, find out what that vibration feels like. Because when you feel that in your body, the tightness that you're feeling in your stomach will go away. But it has to be very, very aligned action. Jamie says, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Amanda says, I just don't feel comfortable seemingly outshining someone. And I think it stems from belief patterns given to me by my grandma and believed by me that fame is unworthy. Well, a lot of me felt unworthy in her presence. I believe because she felt unworthy, and as they say, shit rolls downhill. I've always been on the sensitive side. Oh, okay. Okay, good. So you see like this, you're getting deeper, right, Amanda? You're going to the stem of the problem, which is it has a lot to do with those feelings that she was probably jealous of you, or you know, like that feeling of unworthiness, right? So what you want to do is go think about what is the aligned action to that to change that. I would think probably like doing something that will give you an opportunity to become famous. Like let's say like get on a podcast or get on something that will make you feel really good and worthy. I would go do that until like that feels like normal. And then you don't feel those weird feelings of unworthiness. Like you actually have to do something to change that belief. But it has to be super, super aligned. All right. I'm glad you guys are all sticking on. Wow, that's so amazing. Thank you for listening, right? Letitia says, wow, thanks for this. I know the things you mentioned has happened, and since I've been working on my mindset, a lot has changed. Absolutely. And you know what mindset is? It's your consciousness. You're shifting your consciousness. Different levels of your awareness. And what you're actually doing is you're removing fourth dimensional aspects of yourself, which is your negative thought and emotions. That's what's happening. Dee says, I just want to say that the shell clearing has got me in a neutral place, and I call it. I am not less or more than anyone else, but I know right down to my belly that I am worthy exactly as I am. I have been doing the work of journaling and sharing as much as I can, being transparent, which used to be scary. But by Leimomi is so right. Once you go there, it gets you through it. The only way to the place you want to be is to go through it. You guys can do it. Leimomi has helped me so much with this. Yeah, and I was just clearing her shell. That was a huge thing. You know, when you don't have that anymore, it's just gone. Amanda says, I love performing and I love animals and design. Thank you for all your advice. Yes, yay. Like, totally share your gifts, you know, like express that. So what you're going to do is, you know, get an opportunity where you can perform, you know, perform and go do more of that, get in front of people until you start to feel worthy. I think a lot of people have worthy issues because they've been, you know, disempowered by someone in their life. And sometimes that action over and over and over again changes it. But what's so cool about doing an Akashic Records clearing is I literally remove that for you. So then what happens is, like, your brain, like how Dee is describing it, like you're just doing it. You don't have like that weird background noise that's like sabotaging you every time you do it. And then you try to manifest it and it still doesn't work, you know. So that's the huge benefit. Dee says, I'm coming back for the rest, getting completely cleared. Oh yeah. So listen to the recording. If you guys are listening still, like, listen to the replay of this. I explained to you the 4 levels of Akashic Record clearing that will get you to be in complete ease and up level with ease. And then I also explained like the one main thing of that's blocking you, which probably is that shell. And what is the shell? What's the benefits of having it removed for you? And then what does that feel like initially, of like when you have this around you? All of that I explained. It was a lot. So I don't want to like try to reframe it again because it's going to take me too long to explain. All right, so if do you guys have any more questions? Then I'm ready to have my dinner. It's evening time here, so it's time for family time. Any last sharing? What did you take away from this? You know, if you were listening from the beginning, what was your takeaway of this? Even if you're listening to the replay again, like, totally go type in here again, and I will respond to you if you have some questions and stuff. If nothing's popping up in your brain right now, because I know how it is when you're like on live and you're like, oh my god, like I want to talk to her, but I don't know what I want to say. I do that all the time. All right. Well, tomorrow again, I will probably jump on again. So if you guys totally love this stuff, you know, subscribe to my live stream. It's in the corner of this screen usually here. And then you'll get alerted when I get online like this. Michelle says, I feel hopeful to work with you. Oh, yeah. I would love to work with you too, Michelle. Amanda says, letting go of old beliefs that aren't serving me. Yeah, that is mindset work. Okay, so I'm just introducing to you mindset work. Which would be a whole nother live stream, I think. Today was just more about like what the heck is clearings. Janae says, I hopped on late, first time seeing you live. My takeaway is I need a clearing. Oh, yeah. I think like everybody don't actually know what a clearing is, and I pretty much like told you what it is in this. So listen to the replay. Dee says, hey ladies, I am not perfect and it has been a long time coming for me. What I do know is Leimomi came in time, at the right time. I am still clearing and going to get the full clearing soon, as I know this is going to work through all my stuff. The shell clearing was only the beginning, and it has propelled me further than I ever expected. With gratitude. Oh, thank you, Dee. That's amazing. That's just amazing. Okay. All right. Well, I know like you guys are totally gonna go on with your day, and thank you for listening. And come listen to me again. I'm gonna try and do this every day. So you get the most benefit. And when you feel stuck, totally jump on here, okay? And ask me. All right. All my love to you. I'll see you very soon. Aloha.